Welcome to the calm embrace. Let's take this moment slow, with the warmth of Oliabo. Let your worries go.
Hey folks, welcome to our brand new podcast. It's called Let's Talk About Olive Oil. And it's me, David Paxton, and John Makovitz, my good buddy. We have an exciting new path we're on with a company called Oliabo. You can find out more about it from the person who, invited you to watch the video, but we're going to be talking about a lot of things. But before I get into that list, John, say hi to everybody.
Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day.
But compared to what?
Compared to not having a bad day.
Yeah, well, you're above ground. I guess that's pretty good. Unless,
Yeah, that's a good
well,
start.
it might be
Makes
good.
it a little easier.
Yeah. We're trying to keep ourselves above ground so we could do the Lord's work for quite some
Yes,
time now.
absolutely. That's one of the reasons I started with the business, is to stay healthier.
Exactly. So if you don't know about Oliabo, essentially it is an olive oil based company, but it's not just regular olive oil. It's high phenolic. There are polyphenols in there, and we're gonna talk a lot about the science as we go on along with the show as well. So some of the topics we'll be covering is number one, the testimonies. Why is high phenolic olive oil so good? It's part of the Mediterranean diet for thousands of years, and they're finding out, well, that's why. Because they eat all the bread. We complain about bread here in the United States, at least, but it's because of the adulterated bread that they have, issues. But in the Mediterranean, they eat bread constantly. That's what they do. So we're going to talk about olive oil and the way that also has been adulterated here in the United States and many other countries, and that's why the importance of very high quality olive oil is different, the way it used to be. We're going to do product showcases. We'll show you all the different products. Right now, there's 4 in the product line as of July of 2026. Then we're going to be talking about the science behind it all. We have a great creator, and he made all these things for our health. So we're going to dig into a lot. We'll have scientists on the show, and we'll talk about all the different things that make olive oil great, plus a lot of the other, I wouldn't say additives, but the other additional items that are in a lot of the products as well. The interviews, so we have people behind Oliabo. We're going to have them on to talk about the products and also the opportunity that's available. And we're going to have scientists that actually back the Oliabo product and the science behind the high phenolic olive oil. And last but definitely not least is the business opportunity that's available to you. So if you are here for the business end of everything, welcome. It's going to be real exciting. We're going to do a lot of business training and just, personal training type stuff, so you can be successful in business. So look for that as well. And we might add to that, whoever invited you to this video, contact them to get involved. We're not here to take anybody's business prospects away. We're here to help everybody. So just reach out to them. So John, I think I covered the topics we're going to cover here. Where do you want to start? Oh, you know where I got to start? I forgot, John. I forgot my Viso Lux. I have to look young for the show. Hold on a minute. Okay. All right, put that on. Maybe rub that in a little bit. Do I look younger?
Yes, definitely look younger within seconds. I don't think it works like that, but it's a good choice. You might get a few of these women who will teach you how to rub it in properly, but
Maybe
I think you can go on YouTube to learn how to massage your face, which is healthy for you.
Yeah, Ashley does that, right?
Yeah, well, she's the one who made that great product that actually
she invented it.
is getting rid of fine lines and wrinkles on people. We never make any promises or claim any cures about this product. these products, and are all devised right from olives themselves. It's the way they're picked, the way they're handled. There's a lot of facets to it that I'm not really sure about how these guys process it, but it makes the quality different than the rest of the world. And that's what we're here to share, that we're going to talk about olive oil and the value behind it.
Hmm.
And
So what's
you,
your favorite product out of the four so far?
well, I really don't have any kind of favorites. I never thought of it like that, but the thing I really is these supplements.
Oh,
These,
okay, the
these
Prima.
supplements, I know it's hard to see on the picture here, but it's the can, as you want to see. Oh,
Ta-da!
wrong way. The can of the product. It's you know, to start off with, it just makes me feel good all the time, makes me feel relaxed, makes me feel calm, more focused. I feel like I feel younger than than I am, which is a
Hmm.
plus.
I know
And
people
I
won't
feel
believe you're
like I have,
107.
huh?
People won't believe you're 107.
At least. But
I don't believe it
it
either.
just overall, um, I think it just gives me that youthful feeling again, that not that that I could run marathons and things like that, but
Mhm.
I could take on the day without being stressed out like most people are. They come home, they're exhausted from the day. I don't feel exhausted when I get home. I feel like I'm ready to keep going.
Oh, you
I
told me
still
about
have
the
more
not yelling
hours
at
to
the neighbor's
fulfill.
dog in the middle of the night too, right?
Oh, yeah, I used to get stressed out. They had their dog living behind me. Big dog. Woo kind of dog, not just this little chihuahua kind of dog. And he's loud 3 o'clock in the morning. And I used to get really frustrated. But since I started taking these supplements, I'll tell you this, the dog is gone now, but I stopped yelling, and getting frustrated and losing
So,
sleep. And
so take Oliabo and get rid of the neighbor's dog.
yeah, seems like a solution.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That's in my humble opinion. Oh, that's funny. So, well, I think you had a good testimony about your cholesterol as well, right?
Yeah, it was real strange because I didn't change any of my eating habits or exercise, and not doing anything differently. And I noticed that I went to the doctor, and the doctor, they do the blood work. And
Hmm.
so I had to wait a week, and I went for a physical, and the doctor was dumbfounded because she's like, "Oh, your cholesterol dropped 32 points."
Wow.
She said the bad cholesterol, that's the LDL, of course,
Right.
and for people who might not be sure. And she was dumbfounded. She didn't know what to say. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I kind of went through it a little bit, explained, and you know, uh, they're still looking at trying to get me on medications. Then they would be uh, excited about that this stuff actually works.
Yeah.
And I actually found out the other night watching one of our webinars, which are, one thing good about this company, David, that I noticed is everything's free. Sign up is free.
Hmm.
Get the information is free. Shipping is, you don't have to warehouse products. They give you free webinars, free training, free videos, free
Yeah.
posts.
Well, that's the app.
Everything's
Yeah,
free to
that's
help you to be successful. It's incredible. But somebody actually posted that their cholesterol also dropped dramatically, and that was the first time I've ever heard that since I mentioned it to you and a bunch of other people
yeah.
that actually work. So it was
Well, you
pretty
know what happened with
impressive.
my mother-in-law, my suegra. She she actually cut back on her blood pressure medication. So
Oh,
again, that's
that's
not
very
medical
impressive.
advice. I'm just telling you what happened to her when she
Yeah.
started taking the Oliabo. And my wife is like, "Here, take this," and sure enough, she's
That's
starting to get
impressive.
better.
I noticed something like just to mention, I won't mention names, but one of the people who we shared the opportunity in
Hmm.
business, and said that his hands were always cold, and now
Oh
they're
yeah.
warm. That's circulation right there, and his feet are now still warm and instead of being cold. And when
Yeah, I
you hear
think the
people saying
funniest
they're
thing I
cold
heard him
all
say
the
was, "I
time,
don't have to wear socks to bed anymore."
yeah, that's
It's like
that's
wonderful.
man, that would be worth it in general because you're getting better blood flow
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a
that's
sense.
pretty much what it
Something
is. Yeah,
must be working well. We don't claim to be doctors or scientists. We're just
but
going
I
by
play
what
one on
people are
TV.
telling us,
Mm.
right? You know,
Wow, that
but
is great. So I know, another weird thing I learned because I used to put like back in the day, I put in my coffee. I got the coffee, right? You got your
I,
coffee?
I do.
Let me see. Okay, we got
Can't
your.
even say
Oh,
it.
there it is. Yeah. All right. So in the coffee, I like additives in my coffee for some reason. So some people are purists and they're like just black. That's it. I was like, no, you got to put something in there, and it's either chocolate powder or because some raw organic cacao is actually really good for you. So put that in there. But I also put a tad bit of salt. If you're just brewing your own coffee instead of like a mix of any kind, just put a like, teeny pinch of salt in there, completely erases all the acidity, and it makes the coffee really nice and smooth. And people think salt. That's kind of weird. But my mom put salt on watermelon too, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
people do that. I know. They still
So
do.
I would put, they call it bulletproof coffee, where they would put coconut oil in the coffee. So I'm like, huh, that sounds pretty good. So let me try that. And it gives it like it's a nutty flavor. It depends on, some people are really averse to coconut oil, and some people just really love it. So that's kind of a crapshoot as whether it's good. But then, we start with the Oliabo and they're like, you know what? Let's put a little olive oil in here. So I took my little Oliabo. I'm like, let me just put it in here. And I'm kind of frou-frou, so I didn't put it in here yet. But now I'm going to boop, just a little bit. Don't have to be a lot. But now you're getting your olive oil, but it adds like a rich, kind of a nutty flavor to to your coffee. And I'm frou-frou, so I got the little, the frother. Not going to do it on the show.
You go all out.
Yeah, so that's, I get kind of weird with that stuff because it's fun. But yeah, you can put olive oil in your
Right.
coffee, and now you're getting it, and mm, you can smell the aroma of the coffee. So it adds a nice kind of, hey, I'm in Italy enjoying my coffee kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Yes. Sitting out on the veranda.
Ooh, I do love a veranda.
You know, the funny thing is I've heard people do that, and they kept talking about it. So I tried it actually the other day, and it was actually a little bit different and enjoyable. It's not necessity.
Hmm.
But what I did notice is that I started taking the olive oil, 2 teaspoons, right about within a half hour before I go to bed. And
Hmm.
I noticed that I've been sleeping a lot deeper, um, um, a lot more energy, and just felt better when I got up. I didn't feel groggy. I didn't feel too tired, but I noticed that I was sleeping deeper. And that was a plus for me because I was always a bad sleeper, not counting the crazy dog kind of scenario. This
Without the
is
dog.
just in general. I was just, if somebody makes noise, I'm up all night long. My brain is racing. I don't get the racing brain anymore. I sleep, I wake up refreshed. Now, there's something to this olive oil, not only olive oil, but the Oliabo olive oil, which is making me just overall feel better and sleep better, which
Hmm.
in general gives me more focus and energy throughout my day.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Because even before this, I don't know if you remember when you first introduced me to the owners and the CEO, Curtis. There was like my wife and I were already olive oil snobs. Okay.
Oh yeah, you were
Yeah.
educated. I wasn't.
And
I was
so
learning.
they were impressed. I'm talking, and I'm talking to them, and I was like, yeah, the vast majority of olive oil here in the States is like it's adulterated. It's A, been sitting on the shelf for a couple years. B, it's in a really bad container of some sort where it lets a light in, or it's plastic, and then or they just cut it. They give you the second run. They say, oh, it's extra virgin when it isn't. They cut it with canola oil or soybean oil or something. And it's just, I was surprised when we found out it was actually over 80% that was actually absolute garbage on the shelves. And then on top of that, even if it was good, it really wasn't high phenolic. A lot of it. So with the polyphenols, that's all the bitter stuff that actually helps your body. That's where all the good stuff is, which is why God put it in olive oil so you would drink it and
Yeah,
use
it's
it.
that little bit of that peppery taste you get in the
Yeah.
back of your throat.
Yeah, so we got that, and then so when we learned about Oliabo and extremely high phenolics, you can actually search that one yourself. The polyphenols are off the charts. I mean, I've spent as much as $85 for even just a little bottle like this, um, but it was very high quality, and I think that one was like 7.95 in polyphenol count. And from what I understand, the Oliabo, the products and derivatives are over 1,000. I got to do a little check on that again. So it's like super high, which makes a real difference in just product quality, you know?
Well, that's why people are noticing and getting the testimonies because the quality is there.
Hmm.
If the quality isn't there, you're not going to notice anything.
Yeah. And if you know what, let's bring that right into business because if it's you don't have a quality product, you don't have a business. We're not here to, sell snake oil, if you would. It's olive oil. Um, so, and you have experience with these owners in the past, and you did very, very well, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did very well in the last opportunity with these owners. These guys definitely know how to put together a corporation that can help, teach, and support you in many ways. They're actually proving it by putting videos out that we can share. Some of you might have watched the video or two before you decided that you even wanted to go further and get a little bit more information about the opportunity. But yeah, the business is actually simple, but most people make it difficult. We're just sharing because we care. We're only caring because we know the products work. As David said, the products have value. So if the product has value and you start to share them, you shouldn't be embarrassed or worried about if someone's going to like the product. They're going to love the product if they consider to keep taking it longer or using them. And we only named two of the products so far. Dave displayed one, but
I got two. I got the Visolux and the olive oil,
yeah.
and then you did
But the
you did this too. You got one more left, don't you?
yeah, I have to flex, but we'll discuss that. But with the opportunity comes a lot of potential to do whatever you want, to have freedom, to have extra money, to have. I had money to pay for my kids' college. I had money to live where I wanted. I moved from the state of New Jersey. I lived on the Jersey Shore. I moved to the center of Tennessee by Nashville. I lived in a beautiful 4,200 square foot home in the country. I only had to do the opportunity, which you only do in your spare time. I had many thousands of people in my opportunity, and it wasn't that I was making, trying to make, how would you say it? Um, Money off of everybody. It was everybody was making money all the time. So it's a win-win kind of situation where actually nobody makes any money in this opportunity until you really make money. So we want you to be very successful and we're willing to do whatever it takes to help you to do that. And the simplicity of the business is that you just share what the products has done for you or with for others and let the proof be in the pudding. And there's plenty of science, like David said. There's plenty of research on our websites. You get a free website, free apps. It's a win-win. So really take a deep look at what we're actually sharing here and do your education, and you can get back to either one of us or the person who actually invited you on here um, to get more information.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and if you
You
don't
want to
know,
comment?
if you well, our email is gooliveusa@gmail.com. That's not a sign up link, but if you don't know who invited you and you can't find them, email us. We'll help you find that person. Or if you do need somebody, we can find a good person to help you get started in a business or be a customer. But like I said, we're not here to steal anybody's stuff. We're help you to find your way to the right person. Just like even the church. You have the right church for you and the right home and the right family. So that'll be set for you. The one thing I noticed about the business, I know John and I met actually in the early mid 90s, like 93, 94. We were in Amway together. And I was the granddaddy of all of them. And Amway was kind of the only thing around back then. I think even some of the other ones were just getting started and to copy it because of some of the pitfalls that happened with Amway and people abusing it and stuff. So other companies started to come around and improve on the process. So back then, I remember trying to build a business. You got to go out and we're going contacting. We go to the mall and try and just randomly run into somebody randomly. When you're out there on purpose to try and get their phone number, and a lot of them felt like,
Right.
get away from me. Uh,
I remember those days.
so and that's a lot of work actually. Oh, I got to go out contacting again, and then we'd spend Sunday nights. We got to make our calls, and everyone gets together and try and talk to these people that you randomly met in the mall, and see if you can actually set up a meeting with them. So there was a interesting time as well. And then you set up this thing, and they just wanted to get you off the phone, so they said, oh yeah, sure, we'll meet. And they're not there, they don't show up, and the worst things was a no show at their own house. Those were fun days. You don't have to do any of that these days. We have social
Now,
media. You could, the we don't have to hide the name of the company. Oliabo's actually got a really good name, and the owners have a really good name in the marketing industry. So everyone knows who they are. It's the brothers, and then a lot of the people that are heads of the company. We're going to be having them on the show as well. But they built it. You don't have to know how to make videos to put on social media because they have them all. They're all laid out. You got a dozen or so videos for different areas. You got some for the products. You got some for the business opportunity, and some for just questioning why. And then the whole presentation you can do. You don't have to learn the presentation. You say, here's a video, you watch it, and
right.
now every time you send out your link, it connects it back to you. So if they say, hey, I'll do this, and they sign up, you signed up for yourself. So you could just post this all over video. And if you're a recluse and you hate talking to people all the time, you can literally build this business just by posting links on your social media feeds and sending this out in emails and text. You just send the link out, and that's literally all it is. You don't have to even understand anything, because what'll happen is, it's always my goal. I tell John all the time, I don't want to build a business. I want to find 5 people who are going to build it without me. And it's like, wait a minute, isn't that building the business? But that's the idea. I don't want to build it. I want to find 5 other people who will. It's like I always say to my kid, if you don't leave me alone, I'll find someone who will. So that's the beauty of it for me. I like doing this stuff. I like working for the Lord. I like hanging out and having fun for the just the day. Don't necessarily like doing all the work, and this literally took all the work out of it. I don't have to memorize a presentation and sit at a coffee shop and show someone how the numbers work. Here's the video.
Right. Actually, we're like carpenters. I'm not going to use a hammer when I need a saw, and I'm not going to use a saw when I need a screwdriver, and I'm not going to use a a monkey wrench when I need a hammer. It's one of the things, but we have all those tools in his toolbox. So we're the same way. I send out certain videos for certain types of people, whatever. If somebody's having problems with pain, I'm going to share with them. Well, it's easier if I do it this
Put it in
way.
front of you. In front of you.
Oh, it blends in too much,
In
Dave.
front
It's
of you.
green, that's why. But the flex behind me, and that's actually for your skin. You just put a little on your hand, you rub it in, and it helps with pain. There you go, Dave. You have a green screen, so. But what you're sharing because you're caring. If somebody's in pain, you want to share something with them to help them to get out of pain. And then if they share and they help other people by sharing it with themselves, they'll put a little extra money. One thing we didn't mention, Dave, is besides we're in every country, every state in this country, we're also in, I think, 13 other countries, which
Yes.
your business can expand to. And they figure out the money and they figure out the shipping and they figure out how to get it to them and they figure out how
Yeah,
to
you
do
just
that.
sign them up.
And then
I
they
mean,
pass the commission on to you, which is a plus. So that means you can be international right from the comforts of your own home in the cracks of your day. And if you choose to build it big, like Dave and I have chose to do, where we're planning on helping a lot of people feel better and also be successful with their own lives financially with this great opportunity. They can also be in other countries, and we have people in other countries
I
who,
think we're in
uh,
4 now, and soon to be like 5 and 6. I know UK is coming on board, and Mexico I got coming on board.
right. So it's always expanding because I don't know
Africa.
anybody in another country, but somebody who I know knows somebody in South Africa, and that person in South Africa knows somebody in Australia, and that person in Australia knows a few people, but somebody underneath that, somebody in that organization knows somebody in the Philippines, and so on, and it just moves around. You can be in many different countries and getting paid by the company while you're actually sleeping. So that,
Hmm.
in my last company, I was in probably 16 countries. I knew nobody in any other country, but I was in 16 different countries. So when I put my head on the pillow, I woke up with more money in my bank than I did when I went to bed, because there was other people who were doing the opportunity while I was sleeping, and they might have even had. Right now, David, in our opportunity right now is that somebody knew somebody in Australia who knows somebody in Indiana, and the person in Indiana knows somebody in Colorado. So now we're back in the United States again.
Yeah, get them
So,
all over the
it's
place.
funny how people know people everywhere. The world becomes smaller. And also, but one thing about the replica websites that you get actually for free, um, they change the language for you. They change the money for you. They change everything for you. They spent a lot of money giving us something for free. If you want to look at other opportunities, you're welcome to do that. But the problem with that is you're going to have to pay. I was in another company before, and they wanted to charge me $5 or $10 for the website a month, and they wanted
Hmm.
to charge me for this, wanted every little thing. And after a while, people started to leave because they're saying,
Yeah.
well, they're making money on the products that I'm doing, but they're also making now money on every little thing. This company is giving us everything for free.
Hmm.
And
And there's no
and
cost
not
to
only
join.
that, they're going to work for us. They're doing these webinars. They're going to do calls like this. They're doing videos for us all the time. It's not the videos they make. They're making videos all the time. They have a production company. There's a guy who actually used to work or own part of DreamWorks.
Yep.
I can't remember his name at the moment, but if you go on the website, you can learn who all these people are. This company is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. The last company did a cumulative, I think in the 4 or 5 years, they did $1 billion. Think about $1 billion worth of volume in that short of period of time. And that was a startup company, and that was the first 5 years. So this company is on track for doing that, and you can be part of that. And also the potential of growth is quicker because you're getting in something that's new. It's not been out there. It's not been, oh, I've heard of that. You'll hear all the negatives. There's no negatives. We're a growing company. That's only positive. And also, 50% of the payout is paid back to people just like you and I. So it's not, so it's a 50-50 split. We're getting, we're making 50% for us. So when they made $1 billion, they had to pay out $500 million in checks to people like you and me. Is that incredible, David? What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's how the business world works. I mean, if you're buying popcorn from the store, it doesn't cost $3 to make it. It costs them, a quarter or so,
Pennies.
and then they got to make a profit, so they sell it to the jobber who says, okay, I'm going to find a bunch of wholesalers like U.S. Foods or whatever, and they're going to sell it to the wholesaler, and then they're going to bring it to the supermarket, and then they're going to mark it up, so it goes from 50 cents to $3, and someone's making money all along the way. Well, with this type of a business, now all that middleman money becomes the people who build the business money.
Right.
So now it's your friends, it's your neighbors, it's the little guys that are making all the money and not the giants.
Right. And it's unlimited. There's unlimited amount of money. If you want to make an extra $500 a month, you want to make an extra 5,000 a month, or you want to make an extra 50,000 or 500,000, there's no limit to this
That's right.
opportunity. And anyone can do it, from the guy who is a custodian to the guy who's a professor in a college, or to the guy who's an attorney or a doctor or an engineer. It's a level playing field. We all start at the same place.
It's very, very
We share
simple.
because we care. The better skills you have, it helps, people's skills. And, we have books and trainings, and we have everything for you, and it's all free.
Yep.
You can get as much help as you want.
Yep. I think that's the biggest attraction for people. So people get scared and I don't know if I can build a business. I don't know if it's going to work. You have nothing to lose, because it's not going to cost you anything except poking at it and sharing a couple links. How many times do you share something fun on social media every day? So that's it. You just share this. You can ask even your friends and family, just say, hey, what do you think of this? Check it out. Doesn't cost you a dime to sign up. It doesn't cost you a dime to get the replicator page and the app, which will keep track of all the links that you sent out. So this show is going to be
Also, it keeps track
really
of all your
amazing.
customers, David.
Yeah,
So if you get yourself
customers
a
and
customer
brand
and they
reps.
order, I have this gentleman now, he's in Singapore, and he orders, and I got him from putting a link out, and he's ordering every month. That has nothing to do with me. I'm just getting paid on that.
Yeah, because you
Because
put
he
the link
placed the order
on
because
social
I
media.
placed the link. So where he can go to my website. And I've done that many times already. And
Yep.
the greatest thing about that is I'm letting the tools do the work. And
Yep.
we do this as a team. I like that. One of the things that impressed me is when, most of my businesses, even the business with me and you, it was me and you fixing houses. It
hmm
wasn't a team of us fixing houses and doing things like that. But right with this, it was me and, this is me, you, and a whole bunch of other people, plus the corporation,
hmm
which is just getting started. So they're growing with us, um, who, who's also helping us to succeed.
hmm
You know,
Absolutely.
we just jump in the boat with them.
Yep.
We don't make up anything new.
That's right. Well, that's it for this show, ladies and gentlemen. We have an awful lot to share with you, but if we start, we'll never stop. So you're going to
Yes.
have to come back for the next episode. Like I said, we're going to be having, I got the whole list here. You ready? We're going to be having testimonies, any product showcases. We're going to show you what each product does along the way. We're going to be talking about the science behind the HPEVOO hyphenolic. We're going to do interviews with not only the owners, but big business builders and other people that back the science behind the company. And most of all, we're going to show you how to make a business out of this that you're not going to have to put a ton of money into. And that's really the big thing nowadays, because the government tries to take all your money. So now we could say,
Tax
We're
write-offs.
going to build this without it.
And
So,
tax write-offs.
yeah. So now you do have a tax write-off because you're
We
building.
could talk about that too,
Yep,
David.
yep,
It
yep,
wouldn't be
yep.
bad.
All right. So, Lord willing, we will see you on the next episode. Remember, gooliveusa@gmail.com if you got any questions or topics you'd like to talk about. And we'll see you on the next show. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Welcome to the calm embrace. Let's take this moment slow, with the warmth of Oliabo. Let your worries go.